we're talking about IGPX.
Oh. Yippee! IGPX.
It's IGPX.
Now we're talking about the second. We're talking about IGPX 2. This is not the original micro series.
Oh, are we? What's the difference?
Yeah. Fun fact. This is the second time that Toonami has had a micro series, or they've had their own series on. This is the second time that they have had a series that they have made called IGPX. The original IGPX was a micro series of 5-minute episodes, and it was a battle royale where they fought with mechs.
Oh, that's crazy! I did not know that.
Yeah, the only way to find it is like on YouTube at like 144p.
I'm good. That's to say, I didn't like it. I liked this one quite a bit, but yeah. Anyway, it's IGPX. I've never seen this show, even though it was like peak Toonami time when I probably should have, when I probably would have watched it, but I guess it just slipped completely under my radar. But yes, this is as you mentioned, this is a series made entirely or funded entirely. I assume, yeah, made by Toonami, the English and American anime. It's not its own network, but like sub network.
It's a primetime block at around that takes place from about 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. and that kind of like shifts around a bit between the years.
What? No, that was Adult Swim. Well, I guess it's an Adult Swim, probably.
On Saturdays specifically. On Saturday specifically was when it was Toonami.
Yeah, but that was usually in the afternoon, though, right? Adult Swim was the one that's on 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Because that's where you get like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Squidbillies and stuff.
Yeah, it was. And then on Saturdays was when Toonami ran on the Adult Swim block.
Oh, but the Adult Swim, but Toonami would also air in the afternoons after like school.
That wasn't Toonami. That was another type of Toonami, where they showed like PG anime.
Okay, I see what you mean. Like there was like the kids anime where like I saw like
where it's like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Zoids, and then you have
Gundam even
Dragon Ball, and then it goes into Gundam, Inuyasha, Big O, and all that stuff.
Right. Okay, but this because yeah. So anyway, Zumos back in the day, there was a cable network called Cartoon Network. Cable is like YouTube, but you don't control what's on it. But anyway, you would have Cartoon Network, and it would mostly show cartoons like your Powerpuff Girls and your Bugs Bunny. But then, like after school, which is like 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., I think it was, you'd have Toonami where they'd have anime like Dragon Ball and stuff. And then at night, you'd have 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., which was Adult Swim, which was like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Squidbillies, which were like adult cartoons. But they would also sometimes have like anime on them, but like
Inuyasha at 5:30 a.m., my beloved.
Yeah. But yes.
Everyone that had Cartoon Network at some point woke up at 5:30 a.m. with the Inuyasha ending playing.
Oh, true. But anyway, all that preamble aside, to say that this is an American-made anime, but I mean not an American studio, because the studio that made it is a Japanese studio, but it was contracted by Toonami.
Yes, they worked together with Production IG to make IGPX.
Yes. The voice. Just get this part out of the way, because in the intro, if you're familiar with the voice of Peter Cullen, aka Optimus Prime, IGPX has a hell of a voice cast. So
I go down some of this if you want me to.
Let's see. I think I can remember because I know the main character is oh man, my name aphasia. What's his name? Please save me. What's the name of the voice actor for the main character? He's a child star. He shows up in The Boys.
He's Macaulay Culkin?
No, it's not Macaulay.
Or is it the other one?
The other one. Haley Joel Osment. There we go.
Yeah, that one. The other child actor.
Yes. Haley Joel Osment is, and also he's a voice in Kingdom Hearts. Apparently, I did not know that.
And apparently voices Sora.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
But yes, Haley Joel Osment. Michelle Rodriguez is this lady. I forget her character name. But if you've watched any
Liz.
Yes, if you've watched any like action movie with like a strong lady character in it, that's probably her. Or Fast and the Furious, she's in that.
If you have seen a military movie that has a strong Latina female character, that is her.
Yes. The cat is Kerry Walgreen, the voice of Saber.
She also voices a couple other characters in that show, like mainly side characters.
She also voices the team leader as well, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, she does.
The team, well, not leader, not team captain.
Michiru Satomi.
Team owner.
The team owner.
Yeah. What's the other girl's name? Voice actress. She's also very popular.
Sandy Fox.
Sandy Fox. Off the top of my head, I don't know what other stuff she's done, but I'm sure she's done a lot. Fucking tiny ass 140p image.
She's one of those characters. She's one of those voice actors that
she's been in a lot of these
side characters.
Yeah, ton of stuff. But also, a lot of the villains. Steve Blum is in one of them for sure. I know I heard him.
Steve Blum is your main antagonist, and they're like, you know what?
Oh right, he's the rival.
Production IG, just look at Spike Spiegel, and just make that character into Cunningham.
Yes,
not Walt Cunningham, just Cunningham.
Yes, he's the main like rival, rather than he's not a villain. He's like a rival. But then there's like a villain team which plays dirty. Team Sledge Mama. I remember that. They had such a
Team Sledge Mama.
Oh. The leader of Team Sledge Mama is what's his face? Mark Hamill, who you might know as Luke Skywalker, but also the voice of the Joker a lot of the times, and just a voice actor for a ton of stuff. The like team trainer. But he is Bishop in the Alien movies. Damn it, what's his name? That guy, you know what I'm talking about.
Like the main mechanic guy or the coach guy?
Coach.
I'm gonna look it up because his name is also escaping me.
Yes, well, also the main mechanic guy is also someone too. I forget his.
Andre Rebel. Andre.
Well, that's the name of the character, but the actor for Andre is that guy plays Bishop in the Aliens movies. Also a voice actor in a lot of stuff. He's in Detroit Become Human, where he's the guy that looks at the painting and goes, "Oh my god," you know.
And you also have Crispin Freeman.
Crispin Freeman's in it too. I forget who he is, but is he one of the voices of the final like antagonist team?
He was the side. He was the guy with the eye patch in the final team.
Right. But yeah, point being, there are a lot of voice actors in this show, and it is really solid. So like the first season is all about beating the main rival. You mentioned his name earlier, but it's already Cunningham. Cunningham is like the reigning champ, basically. And he's like, I'm the best. And the main
Velstein is the name. Is the name of the team.
Team Velstein, right?
And I also have all the names here. It's Satomi versus Sledge Mama, then Black Egg, Velstein, Edge Rage, Skylark, Sledge Mama, and then Velstein again.
Right.
For season 1.
Oh right. There's also anyway, we'll get to that. Yes, basic plot of season 1. This only has like 25 episodes in total, right?
Yes, it has 26 episodes.
And it's basically split into two 13-episode seasons. So the first arc is all about beating Cunningham and Team Velstein. And along
It's
the
all
way,
about learning to work together and being like, we gotta work together as a team to overcome the obstacles, guys.
right, and also like keeping the team actually afloat, like financially, which is an interesting subplot for basically a kids TV show, because it's like, how do we get sponsors? And it's like, interesting.
And,
Yeah.
I felt so bad for Satomi in some of those episodes. Like, I got to call like 20 sponsors today, and they all just hung up on me.
Yeah. Satomi, the team like financier.
Team owner.
Yeah. Oh no. That's a good way of putting it. Her whole like plot, like she never shows up on the track, but like she does have some compelling stories of like, oh man, this all of our sponsors pulled out. We're gonna be bankrupt. It's so over, you know. And it's like, actually, we got a sponsor for cat food, and we're gonna have our cat. Uh, by the way, animals can talk in this, but we'll get to that.
Only when they're hooked up to certain machines.
Only when they're in the machine and in the mechs, yes. But we're gonna have our cat, be a cat food commercial. We can make some money to do a thing and keep the team afloat. But yeah, basically the first arc is about beating Team Velstein and Cunningham, and then the second arc is about beating what was the name of their team?
It's kind of like about trying to keep everything, trying to keep the championship with them. But you were talking about White Snow.
White Snow,
big,
yes. But yeah,
they're
basically
the new kids on the block.
Yeah, basically first season is about working together to become the champions, and then the second one is about staying the champions, which is equally as compelling because it's like, oh, now you're on top. The only place to go from on top is back down,
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's a large cast of recurring teams such as Sledge Mama and all them that have their own thing going on. Sledge Mama's big thing is about like, are they cheating? Or is it more just playing rough?
They're not cheating, they're just playing dirty.
Yeah, they play dirty, but they don't cheat necessarily. It's kind of like middle ground because there's like a really good bit where it's like, oh yeah, we'll get into that.
Now there was one time where there was kind of cheating, hypothetically, where Velstein is like, we have our green tornado attack we're going to use, and then the committee's like, nah, you guys can't do that anymore.
Well, it's not cheating if it's not against the rules. Because it wasn't against the rules until they did it. But yeah, I don't.
Until next year, then they're like, no more of that stuff.
No more of that. Yeah, but it's kind of a match of the week style where it's like, hey, this episode we're fighting Team Sledge Mama. Team Sledge Mama is known to fight dirty. But we beat them with our superior teamwork. And
Team Sludge Mama is from this country.
Yeah.
And they have this kind of backing.
Yeah. And now we gotta fight this team made up of all girls. Oh, we beat them.
And they're from France.
Yeah, the main girl, her and the main character, Takshi, thank you. And the main character are going to have like a little romance, and it's going to follow them a bit and how that goes. And next week it's going to be Team Velstein. We lost to Team Velstein. We're still in this fight, but we got to beat them in the future, kind of thing.
It's very episode of the week. It's more like if you've watched some sports anime, specifically like Hajime no Ippo, where it's like, we're going to follow the characters outside of the ring, get a feel for them. Maybe even you'll like to cheer for the characters that the team is going to be going up against, and then they get into the ring, the fight happens, and then
yeah. The overall
do that every week.
Yeah, the overall plot isn't necessarily its strong point because really it's just we gotta win, and then we gotta
car, go fast,
and then we gotta keep winning basically. But I do say each individual character has their own story that really does that hits. Not gonna lie. Like
Oh
talk
yeah.
about Satomi, the team leader. Her whole thing is like, I gotta try and keep my father's legacy going, and the last thing he has, basically, or the last thing that is in his name is this team. Uh, and trying to just get like money for that. The engineer, his whole plot was like
I
he,
come from a Nepo baby family, but I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I just want to kind of distance myself and be
yeah,
my own thing.
the coach has his own story, which is more spoiler territory, so I'll like wait on that a little bit. Uh, and yeah, just like even like rival teams, right? Like I was not expecting Mark Hamill's character of Team Sledge Mama to actually have a compelling story, but like in the second season, it's like, oh, if you lose, you're no longer going to be team captain. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna be out of here, kind of thing.
There's River, who's like, I want to play. I want to be on the team. I want to play. I want to go out there. Coach, put me in. Coach, put me in. We can't put you in. Then I'm gonna go to another team. I can't believe you're going to another team. How could you do this?
Yeah. The what's her name? The lady with the cat,
Amy.
Amy. Oh, God, what was Amy's story? It was
Amy's whole thing was she kind of feels like she's the weak link of the party,
right because she's like the more one of the
reserved.
well, also one of the more interesting things is like each team has like three roles. There's like the blocker, which is the big heavy mech, the like
The tech,
the runner and the tech.
the forward, and the
Forward, that's what I'm looking.
yeah, and
And
then
Amy's the
the tech.
tech, and she's like, I feel like I'm letting everyone down, but all of her skills are in, tech. It's about like analyzing the enemy's movements and abilities and stuff for everyone else. So she kind of finds her own niche and thing that she can be proud of. And that's also she also has a cat, and the cat can talk specifically to her, right?
Yes, and the cat chooses not to talk to the rest of the team until season 2.
Okay, right. 'Cause I think I made the joke that Amy's just schizophrenic, but other people do end up talking to the cat. And the cat is also part of the tech team, and the cat helps analyze the enemy as well. And there's actually a fun bit, I don't remember which season it's in, where there's a team with a dog, and there's like
Season 1 and 2.
yeah, there's trash talk between the dog and the cat over the team comms.
And then by the end they're like, "Yeah, you know what? Maybe you weren't so bad after all, dog."
I think you Discord filtered you out there for a second.
Out there. It's like the cats after the whole match happened, they're like, "You know what, cat? You ran a pretty good race. You know what, dog? You're not too bad after all."
Yeah, very very silly. But uh yeah, overall, like even I think the biggest weakest characters were the rival team in the second season.
Yeah, the second season, I thinking back on the series before the rewatch, I the whole the evil hacker girl, that's the big bad of the second season. From the first season, there's an episode where Satomi helps out this kid with the arcade IGPX
Oh yeah.
cabinet, and I thought that he goes on to become that character. I just completely replaced the antagonist of season 2 with that kid. I thought that kid was supposed to be that person.
Yeah. So like the first season with Cunningham and Team Velstein, even though Cunningham is like really arrogant, being like I'm the best, he is also right. Like he is also the best. So he does kind of back it up, and I do really like in the second season after he gets beaten by Takashi. Takashi?
Takashi.
Okay,
Takashi? No,
Takashi.
whatever.
I'm gonna call him Takashi. When he does get beaten by
Takashi.
Takashi. Yeah, it just that sounds like a more American way of putting it. Takashi. But
Yeah, well, it's an American anime.
fair enough. But anyway, gets beaten by Takashi's team, and then like in the second season, they have to do some like underhanded tactics to pull the Takashi's team. That is a little bit of underhanded tactics to kind of like eke out the win to stay on top. And Cunningham's just like, "Yo, that's pathetic." And it's like that's I kind of liked his character being like, if you're not gonna win right, like why even try?
Why aren't you giving it your all, Takashi? Why are you falling back on these cheap tactics and then they tie?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, basically the antagonist of season two. I guess we could get into spoilers now. Antagonist of season two, the whole motivation was just to like see Team Satomi just fail and lose.
Despite the fact that the lead character of White Snow is like, Team Satomi, I'm your biggest fan ever.
Yeah, I'm your biggest fan. Now I'm ready to destroy you. I mean, and to be
I'm well,
fair, I guess it is all just a race. Like the goal is to win, but like I don't know, it just seemed like they characters really didn't have a whole lot going on.
not really. If they were in the first season, it might be different, but just coming in from the second season as like the new nobodies.
Yeah, I'm gonna cough. Could have muted myself, but I didn't. Uh, yeah, but they do have an interesting like the final battle where they just combine all their mechs into one is nuts. Absolutely insane. I'm not gonna lie.
And it
But
looks so cool too.
it does. I don't think I'll be able to find it, but maybe.
Also, by the way, the animation in this is like about 40% off the track, 60% on the track. And the CG animation, it holds up so stupendously well.
It really does. See if I can find it.
Even the little ad bumpers that like little like mid-episode break with the logo, even that holds up.
One of the things that impressed me the most was like a lot of the background is CG, so like buildings in the city and the tracks and stuff, and it all looks really good. Like like the mechs absolutely look great, and they blend very well with 2D. Although you don't really see 2D in the mechs all that often. Like it's usually like in the hangar.
You mainly see the 2D in front of the 3D.
Yeah, it's usually like the mech is in the hangar, and then they get in the mech, and it turns into 3D, 3D world. But like when they're 2D, just like walking around and all the buildings and stuff in the background are CG and 3D, it looks really good.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even notice that the buildings were CG.
Yeah, a lot of them are, especially like on the track when it's like speeding by the track. But yeah,
I noticed on the track, but like when they're like out walking about, I did not notice that.
yeah, some of them are. Yeah, some of them are CG if I remember correctly. But yeah, like animation wise, very hold up, very good, big good,
Much good,
much good, much great.
much Kino.
Yeah, voice acting fantastic. Obviously, there's so many really good voice actors and actors. Um,
How'd you
characters.
feel? How'd you feel about the music?
I don't remember much about it, but that means it's passable.
Fair enough. I was gonna say the same thing. I don't really remember anything that stands out particularly well.
Yeah, but to be fair, we also talked about Zoids recently, and I don't remember much music from that beyond like,
Uh, The stinger.
yeah,
Now, also, I feel like we should also mention that we are watching the Tsunami version of IGPX. We are not watching the production IG cut of IGPX, which
yes,
has different music, voice actors, and different openings.
yes. Oh, the Japanese opening is pretty cool though.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but yeah, we are watching it in its native tongue, which is our tongue. So lucky there. But I mean, overall, it was like really solid, and it also like not very long, 26 episodes. Uh, individual character stories were probably better than the main overarching story, but I did kind of. How do you feel about the character stories ending? And by that I mean,
How Takashi and Liz got together.
yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of that, honestly.
yeah,
It kind of felt a little bit like I'm just gonna pull back for a second. I'm gonna pull back for a second. It feels kind of like some one person somewhere in the production of this is like, I am Takashi. I am going to get the tomboy GF.
me. I'm going to.
I'm going to win the IGPX, so I get the tomboy GF.
Yes.
That's
That's
kind of what it feels like.
kind of a little bit. I think it feels personally to me, it feels a little bit like they got to the end and they're like, okay, Takashi broke up with his French girlfriend who's on another team because it's like
Fontaine.
Fontaine. And I do like the dynamic between him and Fontaine, where it's like, hey, we like each other, but on the track we gotta be opponents. We gotta give it our all. I do
And
appreciate.
I really like how Fontaine is like, Takashi, we're together, but yeah, come on, stop being a pussy, fight me.
Yeah, I feel like the ending with Liz and Takashi felt like the writers were like, oh, we kind of need to have like, let's make it a really happy ending. Who's the closest woman to protagonist? Liz? Yeah, okay. They become a thing now.
Now, what would be? I can also see this as like a 4D intergalactic chess move of we're gonna set this here as these two get together at the very end. And who knows, maybe in like 10 years or 5 years or 20 years from now, we'll get another season of IGPX. And it'll be like, oh, the relationship didn't actually work out.
We did it kind of. I do remember we had a talk of like it would be kind of like peak if IGPX got another season or a reboot or something where it's like their kids or their kid being the main protagonist, but like it's not gonna.
Yeah, we had a whole it's kind of the ending is very open ended, and it's like Tsunami kind of wish you could just like pull it out for one more season. Come on.
Yeah. Also, when it comes to like the villains at the end, right? They do the big combination into like one single mech, and then Team Satomi wins because they do. And then it's just like talking to the enemy team where they're like, yeah, hey, put up a good fight, and it's like, man, these dudes suck. Why? Like, they're just so unlike Team Sledge Mama. Like the team in the second season just straight up cheats. Like literally just cheats.
Literally just hacks the IGPX units and just is like, fuck this. I'm just gonna fucking pull the wires out.
Yeah, they felt like at the end it was like they tried to give them a little bit of like, oh, actually, it's just like Cunningham, where you can empathize with them. It's like, no, dude, they suck. The Cheetos.
Two of them weren't even actually like piloting. They were all being piloted by the one person.
Yeah, it's just very weird. Like it was just like, oh, at the end, hey, yeah, it's just hey, good match, and it's like, no, get the fuck off my
Honestly,
court.
honestly, I would rather have River and Team Sledge Mama come back for the finals instead.
Do real. I love it's like Team Sledge Mama. Like they started out as like, oh, they played dirty, right? But then there was like a bit where Fontaine and Takashi run into some like teams, were the Team Sledge Mama fans who are like trying
They
to like break their
no,
kneecaps.
they run into some gang members, some really shadowy people as they're on their dates,
Yeah,
and then it's like, what do you guys want? Well, you're going against Team Sledge Mama, so we're gonna break your kneecaps so that you can't race against them and beat them. And then Team Sledge Mama rolls up and is like, "That's cringe. I'm gonna beat your ass now."
yeah. The Team Sledge Mama shows up and they're like, oh, we're such big fans, and they're like, nah, we're gonna beat your ass because we might fight dirty, but like we're not gonna just break their kneecaps between matches.
We might fight dirty, but we keep it on the track.
Yeah, but with like a Mark Hamill voice.
Exactly.
And it was like, oh, that's cool. Like they're bad guys, but they're not bad guys.
He may be a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy.
Yeah. Versus the team in the second season that's just like, yeah, we'll cheat. I'll put like a worm in your suit so that it just hacks it.
We'll put a high tech military grade worm inside your system to fuck your mech up. No problem.
Why? Because we can. We want to win,
We want to see Team Satomi fail. That's why.
but we love you. And it's like, what? What's wrong with you? Yeah. I didn't really like that team for the second season very much, but they did combine into one single mech, and that's pretty cool. So they at least get that.
The fight was cool. The character, what's the thing when you want to do something?
Motivation.
Motivation. That's the word. Their motivations are very meh.
Yeah. Also, I think the voice actress, if I remember right, for the hacker girl on the enemy team in the second season is Rin from Fate as well.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. Going back to the voice actors. But yeah, I mean, overall, I give this series like a 7. I liked it. It was solid.
I would give this series an 8. A lot of it is nostalgia baiting, but also I would like to point out that you could absolutely watch the first season and just never watch anything else.
I mean, that is true. You
could
could just
do that.
watch the first season.
You could do that. The second season is really good still, even with the kind of limp ending, but still really good.
Yeah. Like, even when we say like the limp ending, we're like talking about like 2 episodes.
Huh? Could you repeat that, Discord?
That's fair. I was gonna say, even though we're talking about like a limp ending, we're talking about like 2 episodes, maybe. Because like, even though
it's more just the final episode.
Yeah.
The final episode is when they're like, yeah, we actually cheated because we love you guys.
Yeah, and it's like, what? And that's also when he gets with Liz, kind of just a little bit, not a little bit out of the blue. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's they were like friends slash not rivals, but they were like friends, and they kind of bickered at each other a bit. But like, it kind of feel like out of the blue of being like, Liz, you're the closest woman. Pucker up.
It was very there were a couple hints sprinkled around, but I still do not feel like those two characters are like good for each other.
No, but yeah,
I feel like he got a better relationship with Fontaine.
True. I do like kind of appreciate like Takashi's like full of. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Speaking of character stories, Andre, the coach.
Yeah, Andre. What about Andre?
So Takashi's main inspiration, inspiration when it comes to racing is the Rocket. I believe his name was
Rocket G.
Rocket G. Yes, and it's revealed in the second season, I believe, that Andre, the team coach, is Rocket G, and it's cool that he's like over the hill for sure. Like, he's old, and he mentions he's gotten like fatter.
He even actually, there's actually an episode where he does fill in for Amy after she like breaks a leg.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh man, I gotta go run laps in order to fit into the plug suit again."
And he's talking about like how his marriage has failed, and like he hasn't talked to his kid in a while. And it's just like, I don't know.
He's so real for that.
Yeah, his character again. I think individual character stories are like where the strong point of this is, because it's like compelling, you know.
Yeah, I mean the act of going around the racetrack it's fine, but it's not the reason you watch. You watch it for the people.
Yeah, exactly.
Much like any other sports anime, you watch it for the player.
That's, you know what? That's a good point. That is a sports anime specific, not specific, but common trope. But yeah. Do you have anything else to say about IGPX?
They should do another season. Apparently, the video game is allegedly pretty good. If you have seen the original IGPX micro series, leave a comment down below. And if you have seen the production IG cut, leave a comment below saying if it was actually better or as good as the Toonami run.
True. I don't, I don't got it. Yeah, overall positive. Liked it a lot. Huge cast. You're the type of person like we are, where we like, who is that? And listen to someone on a TV show. There's full of those.
And they're usually with an anime being dubbed, it's like it might average like once every like 3 or 5 episodes. They'll be like, who's that guy? But for IGPX, it's like multiple times per episode. I'm like, who is that? Who is this?
True.
Oh, it's that guy.
All right. Well, I don't got anything, and I need to run to the little robots room really quick. So I'm gonna end the episode unless you have something to say.
Speeds of upwards of 450 miles per hour.
Yeah.